Happy Thursday, everybody. Are you good? I'll try to get this the whole thing with these with TikTok and Instagram together. Happy Thursday, everybody. Happy Thursday. Welcome to the Dollar Hour. I am Deonte Burden, aka Mr. Short Dollar himself. We got an awesome show planned for you guys tonight. Tonight we're going to be discussing something that I think is very, very important, especially people that are new in business. And that's just knowing the business isn't always perfect. Business isn't always perfect. We got so many people that want to do things a certain way, have it the perfect way, and if it's not done, they can't do it at all. I just want here to tell you guys, somebody that's been in the game over 20 years, business ain't always perfect. A lot of times you just focus more on getting it done as opposed to just trying to do it. You'll get a whole lot more accomplished, okay? But before we get started, I want to say what's up to my awesome producers, DJ Lab.
That's right. It's Thursday.
What's happening with you? Man, I'm trying to get the thing together.
Oh,
hell, I'm messing up. This on Instagram.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. Cool. There we go.
Okay.
Yo, what's up, my producer DJ Lab? Also, my other producer Slick 316. Give a big happy belated birthday to Slick.
That's right, bro.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Happy birthday, Slick. Sorry, I missed the gathering. Your boy was working, but you know I was there in spirit.
That's right.
Yeah, but yeah, man, super excited about this week. I'm knee deep in tax season. Your boy putting in about 21-hour days, bro. Hey guys, I come in the studio today. My brother told me make it look tired.
Look tired,
man.
Stanley Gardner said, "Good evening."
What's going on, cuz? It's my cousin Stanley.
Okay.
Yeah. Also, this tax has been great, man. We've been doing good. I can't even flex.
I say it's good to be tired from a successful business, ain't it?
Man,
And that's what successful business is. It usually makes you tired.
But when that phone ain't ringing, you know. But we good to go now.
You come here all chipper and woke. I'm like, what's going on with you? You ain't got no business going on?
So the broke people happy.
Yeah, broke people happy.
You crazy hell.
Right, broke people happy.
But now it's been going cool, man. But just the right now again. Let me stop again with the dollar with Mr. Short Dollar. You guys know on the channel we talk about personal finance, business, entrepreneurship, and investing. We have over close to 400 videos on the channel. We cover everything from business operations, business management, business funding. Right now, we're currently streaming live on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, LinkedIn, our main hub of YouTube. Am I forgetting something? And Instagram. Also.
Yeah.
But as always, guys, the main hub is the YouTube channel. Go to the YouTube channel, Mr. Short Dollar. Follow us from the platform you're viewing us on now, but go to Mr. Short Dollar on YouTube. Subscribe to the channel. Again, like I said, it's close to 400 videos on the channel. Got a lot of great information currently on the channel, and a lot of great information coming down the pipe. Now, tonight we're talking about business isn't always perfect. All the time, man, it's like I hear people come to me all the time, hey, man, I wish I could start my own business. I want to do this, I want to do that. They got this awesome skill set. They got this great dream, and they're always waiting for something else to determine or move them in that direction. When my kids graduate, we almost through with the divorce. I gotta move. I gotta, damn near I gotta die. Something has to happen.
A major turnaround has to happen.
And it's always correlated again with something else creating that opportunity. And people don't understand things ain't gonna be that way. Why does it have to be perfect for you to start your business? And once you start your business, life still is gonna be imperfect.
Right.
So it's not gonna be that way.
Okay.
The key with being a savvy, long-lasting business person is not putting yourself in a position where everything's gonna be great. It's putting yourself in a position where you can be responsive, where you can rebound, where you can adjust, when you can pivot. That's what a business owner, because when you start, machines gonna break, people gonna quit, contracts gonna get lost, all kind of bad stuff. People get so enamored when they look at people that are being successful. I want to do that, man. You see right now, what's one of the major things going on right now? Come on, Larry, help me out. Current events.
The war in Ukraine?
No. Locally. What's high? Gas. Come on.
Gas.
Come on.
It's one of those deals with me. It's like, I got to get it anyway, so ain't no sense in me crying about it.
I got you. Follow me what I'm about to say. for the past 2 years, what industry has been booming? Transportation and trucking.
Right.
Everybody with the hot shot.
Right.
Everybody with the box cars. Everything like that.
That's
Everybody
true.
Ubering and all this other kind of stuff. Lifting and everything, right?
Amazon box car deliveries. There you have it.
Doing that.
Yeah.
You got your ride shares going, Ubering, lifting, Instacart, and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Woo! And now they got something called gas going up from $3 to $5 a gallon. Come on now. And so, what happens? Do you stop? Do you quit?
Nate, what? Pivot.
You got to find a way to pivot.
Right.
You got to find a way to pivot. Now, again, unfortunately, I ain't no basketball player, and I ain't no Uber driver, so I can't really tell you how to pivot on that. But I'm just saying.
You got to find a way.
Exactly. But here's the key, though. When you put in them kind of positions where you really want to do something, you initially get into it because you know all the pros and cons of actually getting in that particular business. You know, because you can fix on houses, because you can cook goods, everybody love your cakes and stuff like that. But you gotta always tell people, write down 10 to 15 reasons why you wouldn't do that business.
Okay.
Not to make you quit, not to make you not stop doing it, but to make you aware of the different pitfalls in that business.
Okay.
Right?
Right.
We talk about it all the time. Most people really don't want to be in business. They just want them a job gonna pay them some more money.
Right.
They want more respect at their job. They don't want anybody fussing with them. What I hear all the time? Well, you work for yourself. You can do what you want to do. Yeah, and I'm working up 2 or 3 in the morning too.
Getting up at 7.
When you sleep, yeah.
Right. Or 5, right?
Yeah, they got to get up 5, get kids up, go to the gym. Man, no, you don't want these problems.
Yeah.
You don't want that. And
so 20 hours a day, so you want to work 8 hours a week.
It's 20 hours a day, so you don't have to work 8 hours a week.
Right.
Boy. Hey, not to work 40 hours a week. But you know the thing of it, Lab, is that when we start looking at these particular things, like, okay, I want to do this and I want to do that. What I want to talk about tonight is not creating barriers for yourself that will stop you from going next level with your business, or even getting started with a business.
Okay.
Far too often, we always make these imaginary barriers or stop signs for ourselves in life why we can't be successful, why we can't do certain things, right? Everybody got some reason. Everybody got some reason why they can't do it. And we use them for several reasons. To protect us, because nobody want to look bad. You know, man, what happened to your business, man? I thought you were doing this and doing that.
Right.
Oh, just you can't, you want to blame it on somebody else.
Right.
Blame it on Barack and Biden. And
my people weren't supporting me.
Yeah, my people weren't supporting me.
Right.
And a lot of times it's just, it could be you, not in a negative way, but just, it ain't your season right now. You weren't mentally prepared. I had some people reached out to me today in some services. They got a mattress store, and the guys, everybody know I had the video out about a week ago. If you have a multi-partner LLC or an S Corp, the deadline was March 15th. Also for your nonprofits, the deadline was March 15th. Right? And so they called today like, yeah, we need to get our taxes done, this, that, and that. I said, man, y'all done missed the deadline. They didn't know. And they were just, they knew in business and everything. They ready to get started. I was like, no, you got to get this done, get that done. One person initiate getting the filing, but I'm like, no, you have to file the business and then take those K1s and distribution forms to your personal return. They didn't know.
Oh, okay.
Oh, man, they going, a lot
more than they expected.
Listen, relax.
Okay.
Relax. This is your first year.
Right.
We're doing it and everything. Just, we'll send you in the right direction. But a lot of times people panic and don't realize, like, how much stuff they don't know. Business is funny. Business funny. And I always say, if it was so easy for everybody to do, everybody be in business. Everybody be in business. And I always get excited when people post, I got my LLC, I want to do this, that, and they're like, okay, cool. But they don't never want to come to a person like me.
You caught too much.
Yeah, I caught too much. You won't.
Why I'm going to come to you when my cousin, Gloria, she do the same thing you do, and she gonna give me the family discount.
Lord don't do what I do. Well, the thing of it is, you want the crazy part is that you want to be in a situation you can make you $10,000, $20,000, $40,000, $50,000 in a couple months, but you don't want to spend a couple $100s to get the game. And I always share with people, When I start making money, we talking about over 6 figures, start making money, I start paying for it.
Right.
I start sitting in them $2,000 seminars for 2 days.
Mm-hmm.
I start paying for those $2,000 or $3,000 mastermind groups,
Mm-hmm.
and that's when my money changed.
Okay.
When I was sitting there just going on YouTube, which is free, and it helped.
Right.
It helped. But when we start making money, I had to start paying for the game.
You got to step outside that box.
I had to step outside the box. I had to step outside the purse. Open that chain purse up.
Right.
Open that chain, Jang-a-lang.
Do you think a lot of times people don't realize the extent of making or what it takes to make a successful business? Like a lot of times we always talk about, people don't see the process, the hills and valleys. They only see the finish line, and a lot of times they don't take into account the hills and valleys that may come with. There may be a lot of valleys. It may not even be a lot of hills in the first few years. You may be in the valley the whole time looking up to the hill.
Yeah.
And people are not mentally or physically prepared for that climb.
Now, you don't hear. Most folks are not realistic. Mm-hmm. I always say if you can make that 3rd year in business, that first year is kind of cool because it's exciting. You got your first year. Mm-hmm. Second year kind of funny because you kind of have some setbacks and things like that. But that 3rd year, you'll see things go next level. Mm-hmm. But people just ain't patient like that. Mm. People ain't patient like that. I always say, get you some mentors, go to some groups to get some kind of moral support, and everything, and just try to be as prepared as possible for all the bad stuff. Mm. If you do that and you're happy, you'll be cool. I always share with people the reason. My biggest thing to make more money. I made a video about that a couple weeks ago. Go to Miss Short on YouTube, and the video entitled "Do This to Make More Money." Focus on making yourself happy. When I came out of the divorce, I didn't really. What I did, I closed the salon. I did all the stuff that kind of was like a hindrance to me. Mm-hmm. Then like the salon, got it backed away from the other stuff. Like, okay, really, I'm just gonna focus on tax business, YouTube channel, just be happy.
Right.
And when I focused on being happy, the byproduct was the money.
Okay.
I look up like, okay, all right, boy.
That change first get a little fat.
Yeah, you pick it up a little bit. So, and that's one of the biggest things. Focus on being happy. Mm-hmm. But right now we're talking tonight about business and always got to be perfect. I think a lot of times people don't realize especially you got people that are perfectionists. I want it to be this way, and I was just doing some reading earlier, and it was like perfectionists usually have a difficult time in business. Mm-hmm. Not because they don't do a good job, but they really create so many setbacks and stalls where everything got to be perfect. Mm-hmm. And that's what I want to talk about tonight in regards to that. I'm going to move my little red over here. Ladder through some smooth, sweet stuff tonight.
You're right. Keep you balanced.
Yes, sir. But, that whole point of just being, it got to be right. It's got to be this way. It's got to be that way. And I want to talk to that because you have so many people that, again, they've created this giant roadblock because they can't understand that, hey, look, you can't make everything the way you want it to be. Mm-hmm. Life ain't like that. Right?
I wish it was.
Your marriage, your children, your job. You're always going to have something that is going to change. You just got to be able to adjust. If those things in your life are like that, why wouldn't the things in your business not be like that? So I want to have that good discussion tonight. So listen, guys, if y'all watching this right now, I know I'm late with this. Please, if you're watching the video, regardless of what platform you're watching, make sure you like the video. Like the video right now. And also, make sure you follow us on the particular platform that you are looking at. And also go to the YouTube channel, Mr. Short Dollar, and subscribe to it as well. When you start looking at in regards to just people wanting everything the right way, just being a perfectionist, right? And you start looking at yourself. And what we all talk about doing that self-awareness, self-evaluation.
Yeah.
Knowing, okay, are you a perfectionist? 3 key things I look at to kind of make yourself. Now I want to say this. There's nothing wrong with being a perfectionist, but there is something wrong with creating these stalls and setbacks and roadblocks for yourself. They're gonna be hindering you going forward. Okay, and that I think that happens a lot with people because it's one thing to go to your job and you can tell people what to do and everything's kind of synchronized. This coming in, we're doing this. These people coming in, we're doing that. When you're in business for yourself, you pretty much pulling out the puppet strings.
Okay.
Sometimes people buying from me, sometimes they ain't. Sometimes
Right.
that phone ringing, sometimes it
it's
ain't.
not.
You know, sometimes you're overwhelmed, sometimes you're sitting there like, hello, hello, hello.
Checking the phone, make sure
Hey,
it's
Lab,
on.
call my office, man. Call my office. What wrong? Now, just call it. Try to make sure the phone working.
Right, right. That's one of those. Those some of those setbacks you deal with. That's them valleys.
That me before tax season. Damn. Ain't nobody calling.
Right.
But you know, those kind of things are, you know, most perfectionists they encounter.
Mm-hmm.
And until you sit there and say to yourself, like, look, I can't really control this. But I always say, control your controllable. Mm-hmm. I can't really control this, but I can make sure that I can protect and adjust the best I can possibly.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's some things, there's some punches Lab can take, Poochie can't.
Okay.
And vice versa.
Right.
And, you know, we just have to be able to try to find a way to mitigate
Mm-hmm.
those losses or those actions when they happen to us in a negative way, right? So 3 things I want to kind of want you to just do self-awareness with yourself to see if you're a perfectionist. And the first thing is you're a control freak. Do you know how to delegate and let stuff go? Can you sit there and say, hey, look, Lab won't let you run this and all that kind of stuff? Can you do that? We ought to have them people that micromanage. You know, you told me to do it now. You know,
I'm guilty of that one because I'm like, they ain't gonna do it the way I want it done. See, that's the thing. I want it done this way. It's a particular way that it's got to be done, and if it's not done that way, it just won't look right. That's me.
And to that point, like I said, we're gonna circle back on that now. Okay, we start saying you're a control freak. A lot of times you can't prioritize anything because the stuff that's unimportant. You so focused on being in control, things that you probably can send out to somebody else, you stuck on that. And I always tell any business owner, you cannot get caught up doing $8, $9, $10 an hour jobs. You ain't got no business sitting there trying to, you know, file and mail and sweep and all that stuff. You can't do that. You got to get somebody to do that because once what we say, you're the owner of the business or whatever is growing, you need to be working on it instead of in it. And we got different levels as far as you trying to start it and growing it where we transition yourself to that point. But you cannot get yourself caught into, you know, I'm managing the website. I'm managing my books. I'm still trying to fix on these cars and try to do all. You can't do all that. God gave you 2 arms, 2 legs, unless you want to people at the circus. And if you ain't, you just know them like everybody else.
Right.
So you can't get caught up in that, right? So we got to be realistic about what we can and can't do. If you give it to somebody to do it, you got to be smart about it. So number 1 thing, being a control freak. Number 2 is feeling morally obligated to be this overachiever. I got to get it on. You know what I'm saying? It's DJ Lab name on there.
Yeah, I'm guilty of that too.
You know, if you don't get your way, I mean, if it doesn't go the way Lab, hey, I'm gonna hit him with that arrow in his heart. If it don't go the way Lab wanted, it's the end of the world. It's the end of the world.
Right,
man,
yeah,
Poochie effed it up and da. Now listen, to everybody else, it was great. It was great. But because Poochie didn't turn that camera this way, that little much, he just messed it all up. It's just everybody just so stuck on. It got to be this certain way. It got to be perfect. It got to be that way, right? Third thing is, you get pissed and bothered and so mad when things don't go your way. You know what I'm saying? I mean, just so mad things don't go your way. And not open-minded at all, not interested whatsoever of things going in a different plan or a different path whatsoever. Right?
I have a vision. I be trying to tell you.
I get it. And so now we're sitting in a situation like, okay, listen, you know, I want it this way. If it's not this way, we can't do it at all. I don't want no help from nobody because they're not gonna work the way I want to work it or anything like that. And I don't want him dealing with it because I know he ain't gonna get the kind of effort that I normally give to it. Okay. All right. Hey, again, thanks everybody.
You cut me with so many daggers.
Don't do that. Thanks everybody for tuning in tonight. Like I said, we're live right now on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, and LinkedIn. If you whatever platform you're on, on right now, please make sure you like the video that's currently going on. Tonight we're talking about Business isn't always perfect.
T.J. Johnson say, "What kind of business you own?"
What kind of business I own?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't. You want me to go through the whole?
No, just tell them what your main business is. I guess I don't know.
I own Majestic Business Service.
Yeah.
We're a business service firm. We're one-stop shop for my business. I'm accountant by profession.
Okay.
You can look Deonte Burden up on LinkedIn. You can Google the brother. And now everything
he gonna come up.
Everything come up. I'm an accountant by profession. We're a one-stop shop for small businesses, bookkeeping, tax prep, payroll, being in business. This is our 21st year in business right now. I also own commercial cleaning company, 3 Sons Commercial Services. We just closed Dorsey Salon last year. 17 years we was open.
Right.
I'm also right now a professional YouTuber.
You are a professional YouTube creator.
What else we got, Lab? Also, I also own a holding company, WDA Investments. We got little things in there and stuff like that. I'm a busy brother.
That's right.
Brother. You just Google me.
Yeah.
It ain't no flex or nothing like that. That's why I got all these gray hairs. But in general, we start talking about just knowing you're a perfectionist, just being that control freak or anything. You got to be realistic, Lab. And we're being straight up, right? Everybody being transparent. Everything you see, all bow and arrow. The control freak. You don't want to. You feel morally obligated to be an overachiever. You get pissed and bothered if things don't go your way. I'm sure you understand the limits that you can cause yourself by those being those kind of stalls or roadblocks for you.
Right.
And I think, and I really want to have this conversation because it's so often that people have these things, and it's not to say it's not a bad thing, but you got to determine how much it's going to affect your performance and what you can do with your business.
Okay, let me tell you, as a person who is guilty of all those things, it's not necessarily that me personally, are thinking about, we don't think about how it can affect the business in a negative light. We think about how it can affect the business positively. Because
Absolutely.
if I have a vision of what I want the business to be and how successful I want it to be, then no one can really see my vision. So it's up to me. I'm obligated to make this happen the right way. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely.
Even though it may not be the right way, even though I may be hindering myself from certain things or slowing down processes, which I am very guilty of.
Got you.
But I also have a vision of what I think it can be, how successful I can be, and of course, when you don't necessarily have things go your way because you have a vision of it prior to it happening, yeah, it makes you mad, it makes you upset, and that's just how it goes. But to be honest, most of us perfectionists, we don't see the negative in it. We always see the positive because we don't want to put out a inferior product. You get what I'm saying? We don't want to necessarily put out a product that's not up to par with our standards or with what we think everyone else's standards is. So that's what makes us guilty of all those things.
Got you.
Okay.
But in Lab's defense and anybody else, I will say this too. A lot of times, and we don't talk about this enough, because we say the easiest thing for me to sit here and run my mouth and just say it's something wrong or we can fix it, do that. But we gotta be realistic. Why do people a lot of times, get into them type of things? It may be personal pride. We'll go into 2 different kinds of perfectionists in a second. But a lot of times that stuff is like defense mechanisms. We done got burned before. Somebody done let you down, let your guard down. You go into business with this particular guy, y'all partners. I was just having a conversation about in regards to this earlier. You can sit down with somebody and they're like, hey man, we can do this together. You got experience, I got money, we can do this and all these, and it sounds great on the onset. But what happens with just a partnership? People get sick, people move, people go through divorce. I thought about myself with going through a divorce and all that kind of stuff that happened to me. That man, if I had an obligation with somebody else, man, it could have been catastrophic for them because a lot of time I really couldn't do nothing. And I can imagine if I was on the hook and another person that had an obligation to our business or commitment to our business, they couldn't do it because of something else. They got sick. They had to move and all that kind of stuff.
Let me say one thing real quick.
Talk to me.
JaVale Bennett, we'll come back around to your question at the end. She has a question about business, and it don't really pertain to this. So we'll
Gotcha.
come back around to it on YouTube at the end.
Cool. Hey, quick housekeeping thing. Like tonight, we're talking about business is always perfect. I tell you guys what I do at the end of all my shows. I open the floor up. I open the floor up to ask any question that you may have concerning business, grants, operations. Once we get through with the show, if it's outside of what we're talking about, I open the floor up, and I promise you, I will answer all your questions. I go through and do that. So if it's not on the top, if it's on the top, I appreciate everybody tuning in. I want you to stay on. But if it's not on the top, we won't do it. But I promise you, at the end of the show, I will answer any question that you guys may have. I open the floor for anybody, okay?
Okay.
But again, man, like I say, you know, a lot of times situational stuff puts you like that, you know, with doing it. And it's tough. It's tough. Especially if you're not a person that is used to depending on other people. It can be challenging.
Yeah, I guess it's very challenging.
Yeah,
for me.
I guess a lot of stuff that it probably a little easier for me. I'm former military.
Okay.
So it was kind of ingrained in us, indoctrinated to make sure that, you know, leadership, delegating, grooming, and all that kind of stuff. So you have to.
Right.
You won't survive in the military trying to do everything. So you always, people say you're giving out orders, but you're not giving out orders. You know, you sitting there tasking these things out because you still got this one goal or mission to make. Yeah, the mission. Exactly. You have to. And yeah, again, you just can't tell folks what to do. You got to tell them the right way to do it. But it's kind of ingrained in you. You groom from when you're a private all the way you sarge, you know, how to do that kind of stuff. So it's a little easier for me, and also probably a little easier for me to develop because I was taught. I'm not naturally able to do that, but I was taught how to actually, you know, plan and develop and, you know, and actually explain to people how things get done and stuff. So that was one of the biggest things I did learn from the military. But I do understand why a person may be a little bit abrasive to open things up with a person. Because, you know, it's just like typing, been in 20 years. Have I had people over the years do the wrong thing in my tax business? Absolutely.
Right.
Have I had people do the wrong things with the cleaning business? Absolutely. I done walked in my salon and it smelled like Weed Fest 99. Music bumping. The stylists in there dancing. What the hell? You know? Huh? You know, I done put all this money. I got this all nice, serene looking salon going on. Man, too much booty in your mouth.
So you got the waterfall in the back bubbling and.
You know what I don't forgot about? The studio.
Oh,
I don't want shit. Boy, I walked in that dang studio that one night. Everybody like, who are you? I'm talking about blowing all kind of big old blunts everywhere.
Right.
And you know, and I'm sitting there like I had this whole patchworks and professional thing going on.
Right.
Hell no. Hell no. Hell no. So, you got my hair. I had a totally different vision. I go in there like, no, man, and that's nothing uncommon. What we have planned for our business, and what transcends, totally be different. You know, and it's a difference when we talk about those 3 levels of entrepreneurship. When you start sticking yourself out there, well, you're in that second level and that third level, you're getting leases, and you got certain things out there. You done purchase things that it's really dependent on other people doing the right thing. You're not getting burned. It's scary. It's scary. So like I said, a lot of this stuff is really you quote unquote trying to protect yourself. You know, you got a trucking company. I mean, you done got these contracts, you got these loads and stuff like that. You hope this person do right in your truck.
Right.
You hope so. You ain't piss test them in the morning before they leave.
Right.
You know, so you don't know what happened. They done hit somebody in your truck. They go piss in that cup and they done burn the hole through it. And then you got all this liability.
Right.
It happens all the time. So I understand a person can be very protective of stuff, but you got to try to start to go to that point. We got to start putting those protection mechanisms in, or checklists or checkpoints in to help you do that. So that's why we want to have that conversation tonight. Business ain't always going to be perfect. You're going to have some funky looking stuff come out of it. You're going to have that and everything. I done went through, what's funny. It ain't funny. You know, every year, we send the prior year tax clients. We send stuff to them, and then, have my assistant make the phone calls you know, and everything, you know, they gonna get all cussed out.
Right.
Like, well, they didn't do that last year. They didn't do that. They didn't do that. You know, so you're going to have you dealing with hundreds of people. You're going to have 10, 15, 20. I mean, off percentages, everybody ain't going to be happy.
Exactly.
And I've always focused in my business is that I don't make no promises of what we can give you back. I promise we're going to do a good job. Something, an error happens or whatever, I promise you, because this is my name. I built this.
Right.
I built it from dirt. So I'm sitting there like, you have those little people come back and say, not little people come back and they have an issue that you just, man, look, that was a mistake. We can't fix it. I feel bad about it. And they just may go somewhere else. And they may leave and they may come back another year or so and everything. But you're going to have instances like that. That just come with the territory.
Right.
As long as you know in your heart that you're doing the right thing by people, you cool. That's all you can do.
Right.
But you're not going to make everything, things are not going to be perfect. And I just want to really stress that with people. Because when you out here rolling, your dream, you can't have control of it, because you're gonna have other people. You don't know what people gonna buy. You don't know what trends or whatever. You know, COVID changed so much. Where what was that? I can't remember what part of the year, but when it first got bad, they just shut everything down.
And that's when Zoom became successful.
Well, Zoom was successful. I had a beauty salon.
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
College Park said, hey, y'all can't do nothing, everything closed. Oh, but that Jewish guy, Mr. Tesla, wanted his rent.
Regardless.
See, Deonte, you got to be ready for this stuff. You know, big old funky cigar. You got to be ready for this, Deonte. Man, look here. I can't even open up. He want his rent. I mean, it was just crazy, man.
Right.
Crazy. Well, hey, shout out to anybody that made it through COVID. You can make it through COVID. You can do anything. But those are the kind of things that come up. You have what you want. And I just want to be straight up with people. What you want and what really is going to happen can be two different things. As long as you can sit here and do proper planning. That's why I stress planning so much, guys. Write it down on paper. Write it down. If it ain't written, it ain't nothing but a dream. If it ain't written down, I'm telling you, because you sitting there trying to shoot from your hip, and you ain't wrote down, okay, man, these are costs I can incur. These are particular pitfalls. These are actual zoning restrictions and stuff. People don't do that because they don't want what? They don't really want to be accountable. The easiest thing for me to say, I didn't know or I forgot. But that's one of the biggest things you learn in the military. Ain't no excuse for ignorance.
Right.
So it behooves you to find out as much as you can up front about something. That's the thing about it. Why you didn't look? Why you didn't check? Huh? Yeah. Google University, YouTube University. You got access to all this information. Don't trip about mistakes, y'all. Don't trip about things that, one of the key things about a successful entrepreneur. And Barbara Cochran, I heard her say that about 10 years ago. It always stuck to me. She said it's not really the person that works the hardest in business. It's the person that rebounds the quickest from failure. That's the thing about it, because she said, I have plenty of people, you know Barbara Cochran from Shark Tank.
Right.
And like she said she had a lot of people that work very hard. Her hardest workers don't make the most money. They're not most successful. But the people that had setbacks, that their pain was just as intense as the other person. But one person, when they have a failure or something like that, they can't get out of bed in the morning. They just like, man, they down, they depressed, nothing happen. And then the other person, they might be shocked and down for maybe a day or so, if that, back at the lab. And they use that as a learning moment, a learning experience. Not it was at the end of the world. And that's one of the biggest, I think, traits that you can't get educated on that. You can't get training on that. That's something in you.
That's
how you rebound from failure.
That's ingrained in you.
Absolutely. I'm telling you right now, there's some folks in these trucks right now, they just like, man, what am I going to do? You got to figure it out. You got to figure it out. The solution is there. Because at the end of the day, the transportation industry still is needed.
I don't think a lot of people realize that you have to. I mean, you're gonna fail in business. I mean, I don't know. You tell me. You know a little bit more than me. I don't know any business that was successful from the gate. There's always pitfalls and like we say, hills and valleys. So you gotta, learn from those and move forward a little bit, because it's just gonna happen. If you have a successful business from the gate, what are you going to learn? You're not going to learn anything. You got to learn how to, pivot. You got to learn how to, like Walmart, they got us checking all our stuff out now. You know, they say, well, we can't get people to work for $10, so we're gonna make these folks buy this stuff and pay for and check their own self out.
Man, come on now. Come on now. And we're gonna cut staff in the process.
And we're gonna have 27 cash registers with one open.
Man, I'm telling you. What's up? Let's see my sister Camille. What's up a little bit? My sister done tuned in. I ain't seen my mama came in tonight.
Yeah, your mama in there.
Oh, my mama in there. Hey, mama.
I think Slick said hey too.
Oh, okay. What's up, mama?
In there. I'm sorry.
Okay. My mama called me every week, asked me what show you gonna be on. I'm gonna try to get on now. Okay. Every week. Appreciate everybody tuning in.
JaVale Bennett say, is that a whiskey or brandy in that glass?
Nah, this.
That's a little amaretto.
This little amaretto. You know. Just so you guys know, I'm a Scotch lover. But last week we had whiskey. We had some
you had
some,
that
Woodford. I had that Woodford in here.
Reserve last week. Yeah.
I try to stay warm up in here. Try to stay warm. But man, I about to lose my train of thought. Dang, Lab got to think about my liquor. Forgot about what the hell I was talking about. You know, theoretically though, man, I think the more you can put yourself in a position where you comfortable with dealing with stress, you'll be okay. Cause that's how it is. That's how it is, man. I'm telling you, man. People, business is great, but you know, to your point, you just asked, is anybody come out of the gate being successful? Probably so. But at the end, you gonna hit a bump. How you respond from the bump? Right. That's the biggest thing. How are you gonna respond from the bump? Right. You know, the code enforcement of change. You got people that want to be in the real estate. I see all them videos. People saying you can get you this and get you that. I'm tell you like this. I can be honest. I had a deal. We lost about $20,000 in a flip. About 3-4 years ago? I done lost money. I done made. But hey, man, that's a game you can be in for years and feel like you got it. And now it don't happen like that. Right. And it's not issue of if something come up with the house, it's when something gonna come up. And I think in all these videos they tell you can go buy a house and flip it. They don't tell you about code enforcement. You got to get these particular things done. You got to have, zoning, man, all kind of BS that experience will teach you that you're not going to find out in no little 2 or 3 minute video. Right. And
Ivy Green says the biggest hurdle was failure, and that now I understand it's okay to fail, that things will happen. Yeah. Yeah. No, awesome point. Not you don't have to be perfect. Things will happen.
So the Ivy Green. Yeah. Hey, that's an awesome point, Ivy. And I appreciate you tuning in. If you transition where you start, it's all about the vantage points you want to give with failures. And if you start looking at failures as teaching moments, and at the end of the day, the more you learn, the less you can lessen the impact of that quote unquote failure. But if you learn that being a teaching moment, you'll be okay. Because we always talk about, we start talking about, certain going to get educated on something or getting somebody. At the end of the day, you're going to pay for some kind of education, either through your money spent or somebody that went to school for it.
One way or the other.
It's going to get spent regardless. Right. You determine that, when you want to go on Google, you want to pay for these a legalized contract that attorney done drafted, get sued. Try to sue somebody. And take that Google contract to court with all them damn loopholes in it. You'll see how far you get with that. Been there, done that.
JaVale Bennett said she would rather have sustainable success than instant success, because failure is the greatest teacher. And I'm sorry, I have to look over at the computer screen and see your comments. So.
Yeah. Lab can read, y'all.
Yeah, I can read. Trust me, I can read. I'm doing 4 or 5 things at once.
Lab's super multitasking. I'm here to attest to that. He can read, y'all. He's just super multitasking. My man is on point. Nah, but you even with and that's a great point. You have sustainable success, instant success. You don't know how it's gonna come. Right. But experience will teach you. Look, I'm in this for the long haul. Instead of just having that one quick peak. You can see it be gradually going up and stuff like that. And I think that until you go through it, you're really not going to understand it fully. You know what I mean? You're not really gonna understand that fully because we get into business a lot of times because the pros are being in business, want to make more money, ain't got to answer to nobody, those particular things, and not necessarily always give thought to the pitfalls, slow times, laws, vendor prices, and all that stuff kind of changing or whatever. Those kind of things you really don't give a lot of thought to unless you season, and those kind of things can have a severe impact on you, on your business. And depending on how you got everything set up or where you're at as far as a business person, I'm just talking about your maturity level as a business person, it can go into your health, it can affect your family, it can do all kind of stuff that you weren't thinking about, relationships, friends, and all that kind of stuff. Look how many friendships are ruined behind business.
Right.
Look how many families are destroyed behind business. Look how many people got all kind of health issues behind being stressed out and stuff like that with business. Come on, going to it for that.
Right. Nobody.
Who the hell going to it for that?
Right.
Huh?
Right.
You be saying something, you ain't seen a brother in years, and boy, what's going on? He got a cane, he bent over. Boy, you still got a car dealership? Yeah, man, we ticking. And he look effed up. Like, what the hell? Man, did one of the cars hit you? No, man, it's just, I'm just going day by day. And the sad part, they don't even be realizing they looking like that.
Right.
But that can happen to you, man. You go into it, like I said, again, you have the right thought process and everything. But again, if you're stressing about the wrong things that happen and not focusing on being able to learn and adjust, those kind of things can happen to you real quick, guys, real quick. And I want to say this, guys, just from my experience, I don't think there's a real direct correlation between being a perfectionist and being a success. I think you can have high standards about things, a la Chick-fil-A, but things happen. You know what I'm saying? Things gonna happen.
Do you think that pitfalls and valleys and all those things help you appreciate the business more once it does become successful? Do you appreciate it that much more, because you were able to make it out of those valleys, and you were able to get over those hurdles that weren't necessarily that was in your way?
I think you appreciate the business more, but I think most importantly, you feel very proud of yourself that you didn't quit. And I think a lot of times people, when they get into business, and I've been guilty of this myself, don't take enough time to reflect and be proud of ourselves, because you be like, okay, I made it through that, let me go to that. Then stop like, dang, boy, hey, you done did a lot. You done came a long way from being on WAOK and doing free stuff and starting in your kitchen and doing taxes. You done came a long way. And a lot of times, when you in it, you just like, boom, I got that fixed. Let me move to that. I got that fixed. I got that fixed. And just don't pump the brakes and be like, hey, let me enjoy some of this money. Let me sit back and do that. Now, I ain't got no problem doing it now.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, like, it is easy to get so caught into forgetting why you did it and not being happy and just being so focused on this got to be straight, this got to be this got to be that, and you get that tunnel vision. And again, like I said, I can't sit here and say there's a direct correlation between being super focused and killing yourself and success. It may or may not happen. But I say, with my personal experience, by focusing on being happy and having fun, the byproduct was money.
Right.
It's success, the money, fun, and all that came with that. Now, did that mean I ain't had no bad days? Absolutely. But at the end of the day, you look at it like that's just part of the territory.
Right. I think people, and this is just me, you tell me what you think. I think a lot of people think that, you can't sleep, you can't rest, you can't relax, your business won't be successful. They have this illusion that, success don't sleep. You got to be up 24 hours a day to make stuff successful. And really, that's not really, for one, it's not physically possible. And for two, you don't necessarily think or respond as good as to things when you're tired.
I seen the video with Steve Harvey was talking to some people, and he's a great motivational speaker. So you ain't, they be, the ones that's so great you don't know if they're lying or making up stuff or whatever.
Right.
But he said something in regards to you can't get no sleep, you can't get no rest. And here's the deal with one thing with that: if you ain't getting no sleep, and you ain't getting no rest. Now you do it. You have to make some sacrifices.
Right.
Your time, your money, some things you might give up with, quality of life, family, and all that. I will agree with that because you're gonna have to nurture it at a certain point to do it. But you're gonna have to be realistic about what you can and can't do in life and the impact that your non-involvement in some of your personal stuff can have and everything. But and that's very difficult with being an entrepreneur, finding that happy medium. But you're going to have to find it. Because they don't take number one, when you're in business, they don't take a cold, incident, some kind of change. And the things
COVID.
that COVID.
What we just went through.
Yeah, and the things that you quote unquote have in your life for free, your family, your health, and things like that, they in jeopardy. And you realize that how easy is those kind of, you can get the money back, but you can't get your health back. You can't get your family back. You can't get your your mental state and all that kind of stuff. So you have to kind of make sure, as difficult as it is, that's why it ain't meant for everybody. It ain't meant for everybody. As difficult it is, you got to be able to kind of keep that little happy medium, because a lot of times the people that are close to you can't handle the stuff that you can handle. They can't necessarily handle your absence. They can't necessarily handle, you stressing about certain things or whatever. Because it takes experience to be able to cut that light off. You can hear all these speeches where people tell you, leave that at work, don't do this, don't do that, and stuff like that. But you got to experience it, to do that. Because how can you, if you got a lease, you got utilities, you got debt, and all this stuff tied to a business, how the hell can you not cut it out? You know what I mean? Just, how can you not? I mean, I'm sorry, not cut it out, but just not be able to keep it on when you go in the house.
How would you cut it out?
Yeah.
Right.
And that's it take a while. And and again, like, do I stress about stuff now that I did 20 years ago? Absolutely not. But I had to learn.
Right.
I had to learn and stuff like that. And I know personally some of my stuff with my family, health, and all that kind of stuff suffered because of that. But you got to learn through that experience. You got to learn through that experience, because that's why mentors, support groups, and everything that are so important. Don't be okay all the time being the smartest person in the room. Try to be in there with like-minded people. You ain't got to be in there with all these people that know more than you. But just, hey, man, how you do this, how you do that? Oh, for real? Man, when you talk to people that got common stresses as you, especially on the personal level and stuff like that, it helps. Because you can kick things to them, they can kick things to you. And you understand, look, man, this ain't got to be this perfect situation. You know what I mean?
Right.
And a lot of times, I don't think people want to look normal. They don't want to look bad. You see that business on the thing, people will say all the time, like, we got this and that going. People love putting pictures of
success.
The success.
Right.
And everything doing it, But again, when you start talking, like, when I start telling you about the money I done lost and all this other kind of stuff, people look at me like I'm crazy. Like, nah, yeah, man, that come with it.
That happens.
That come with it. Now you make it to the other side, you're good.
Right.
But you gotta be realistic that you're gonna have to go through stuff. Like I said, it ain't if it happens, it's when it happens. And when it happens, how you adjust to it, how you rebound to it is so important. What's about that?
Javelle Bennett says, her oldest daughter is mad at her because she works so much, and that's just a part of it, right? That's a part of it. Family, family may suffer.
Family may suffer, and I don't mean that in a callous way, but I think a lot of times that, and I'm gonna say this too, and this goes out to anybody that's in business, anybody that's following their dreams. And one half, I am saying, you don't want to put family and health and stuff at risk, but I will say this too. Kids gonna grow up. Kids gonna grow up, and family man, all stuff like that. And again, when you love your children, and this comes from personal experience. The father of 4 boys.
Oh, is his daughter. I'm sorry, my bad.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
DJ laugh off.
Charge it to my head, not my heart. His daughter is mad at him because he works so much.
No, well. But even to the point, with that, we understand that they're going to grow up one day. Our kids going to do some things that we totally don't agree with. And they're going to move on, they're going to get married, they're going to have kids, and they have to make their own decisions. And You been made a lot of sacrifice for other people, and they don't even go in the direction or the path you have for them. And you gotta be very, very careful that you don't lose yourself trying to create something for other people. And I'm speaking like this from personal experience. I love my children. I think I'm a poster boy. I think I can be National Father of the Year. I can say that. And most people that know me know what kind of father I am.
Right.
And I don't think my kids will disagree. Right. Probably my ex-father-in-law, but that's just his pity ass. But I'm just saying. but in all seriousness, I will say this is that you have to just kind of know how the impact you have on other people, but you can't lose yourself. Never lose yourself to make other people happy. If you are happy, one of my mentors told me, if Deonte ain't happy, ain't nobody else gonna be happy.
Right.
And that has stuck with me because again, if you ain't happy, ain't nobody else. So you got to make sure that you keep yourself the primary. Make sure the family's straight. The family gonna come, your kids, they gonna come and go,
right,
and do their house the way they want to do it.
Right.
And
they gonna keep their hand out.
Exactly.
And if your business not successful.
Yeah, but and that's part of it.
Right.
But at the end of the day, like, look, man, it sound good. Well, I did this, that, man, and they ain't the sacrifice and thing they may recognize it one day. They may not. But you don't want to be in a situation where, man, I wish I had did this, but I had to do this, that, and that. Take care of your family. Take care of your family. You're gonna take care. And I'm pretty sure that brother take care of his family. But some things, say, man, listen, you got to do what you got to do, because you got to be happy too. And it may sound callous, it may sound hard, but you talking to somebody that have been through it on both sides.
Right.
I made them kind of sacrifice and stuff.
And I'm gonna talk to it from my side of the view. I made my family and kids everything. They were my, you know what I'm saying? They were my, how do you put it?
Your focal point.
My focal point. So it was a lot of things that I could have done in business that I didn't do because I was focused on them. It consumed me for them to be happy, whereas I put mine aside. You get what I'm saying? Once the divorce happened for me and all that stuff, I had to find myself. So here I am at 40-something years old trying to figure out what I like.
Gotcha.
So sometimes, and I understand exactly what you're saying. You got to sacrifice that. Sometimes you got to put yourself first and figure out the rest later on.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? Because you're going to do that in business. When you start a business, you're going to put the business first, and whatever you like in the business, you're going to put that first. So that has to sometimes apply to your family life.
Yeah.
And
people don't realize at your job, the whole system and everything is already set. You just got to find a way to navigate within that system. When you're in business, you got to create the system.
But even at your job don't care about your family per se. They don't care about, sure, they'll give you family leave and but in a general sense, the person who owns that company don't care about your wife and kids.
No.
They want you in that seat.
No,
at that computer.
I agree with you.
Right.
I'm talking about as far as the commitment you got to make in business and what you got to do with your job, totally different. So you can get into it, say, I want to make more money, I want to do this for myself, I want this autonomy. But you're going to have to, everything that you have set for you at your job, you have to make that in your business. Either you or you got somebody in place doing it. And I think that's a big learning curve for a lot of people, understanding that everything that you probably unintentionally or intentionally took for granted at your job, you got to create them same mechanisms in your business. And it may not run as smooth. You be like, man, well, at my job we did it like this.
Right.
Yeah, but they might have had way more money, way more of you in place.
More established.
Yeah, more established, all that kind of stuff. That kind of stuff is easy to do when you out there by yourself. And then you got to get maybe a couple more of you in place. Not just the bodies, but mentally, work ethic, experience, and all that kind of stuff, educating, training. And it's not as easy.
Right.
Because you don't have an HR department to do screenings. You don't have a training department or training manuals. All this stuff got to be created by you. So those kind of things we start talking about, being perfect. Can you actually, can you be realistic about having all this stuff in place and you just starting up? And you can be in there for years. You just got to be honest with yourself. Like, look, it ain't necessarily, it's going to be right.
Right.
It's going to be good. It's going to be professional. But it ain't necessarily going to be perfect.
Right.
A lot of people struggle with that. It got to be this way. It got to be that way. And your vision of perfection and mine may be two whole different things.
True.
And that's the thing about it. I think a lot of times people that hard perfectionists, they ain't necessarily happy going to work every day. You know,
That's
just
true.
kind of like, okay, I got to get this and I got to get that done.
I'm very guilty of that.
You funny. And, you know, really wrestle with,
Mm-hmm.
you know, I got to make this a certain way. And I think the sooner you can let a lot of that stuff go, the sooner you probably be a lot more comfortable in enjoying that journey.
Mm-hmm.
What you about to say?
Oh, Mr. Bennett says that, you know, at his job, people are just kind of there for the paycheck. I don't think it's very motivating.
I think that's common in most
I
places.
think that's what most
Yeah.
jobs, most places, that's you just doing the dream job you've ever learned, like working at Google, and they got free drinks and sandwiches and skateboarding in the hallways and playing basketball at lunch and sleep pods so you can sleep for 15, 20 minutes in the day. That's a little different. It's kind of hard to be, you know, just there for that paycheck, and they paychecks be good. So
that's funny though, cause you know when I was in grad school, that was one of the biggest things people was talking about. That was one of the biggest things, and you know, especially even coming out of Silicon Valley, how so many businesses were big on innovation and free thinking and quality of life, and there was just like a big wrestle with your, you know, traditional bureaucratic businesses and stuff like that. Everybody got to do it this way, do it that way, instead of just having a place full of, oh Lord, the light went out. Just having this whole this is my sign. Instead of having this whole atmosphere of everybody thinking, asking why, doing these kind of things, you know, force failing, trying to get, you know, information and ideas. And then it's just, you know, how things are, you know, going forward. And, you know, I was thinking about it, two kind of perfectionists, and that's kind of people that are excellence seekers. They demand high standards of themselves and others. And the other one being the failure avoiders. And those people would being constantly worried about the work isn't good enough and worry like hell about what other people going to say. And if you fall between them two, that being the excellence seekers, always got to have it the right way, be realistic. You know, it got to be that kind of way, and you just so stuck on that. And the other one looking at it is, you know, those failure avoiders, they don't want to look bad. We talked about it, you know, kind of touched on that earlier. Again, I'm not saying that you're not going to have situations where you're not going to have a situation where things just don't go right. But you got to be realistic about, are they fixable? Are they doable? What can we do with it? You know? And I just think so many times people don't give that enough thought. But as always, guys, you know what happens when me running my mouth saying, you know, talking about these particular things in regards to, you know, knowing the business is not going to be perfect. I'm going to give you guys a couple tips.
Well, let me throw this in there. Bill Bennett says, as a supervisor, he uses employee engagement, and they love him. His bosses hate him because of it, which tells him that he has to move forward with his own business.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, those particular things, and I'm always pro anytime somebody want to move forward with doing it. But and I'm proud that brother is smart enough to realize you don't go in so far with what you're trying to do.
Right.
You know, you gotta be realistic. They ain't trying to hear me. They ain't trying to move. You know. And you can go to another organization. It can be the same thing. But you got to be realistic. Like, okay, I'm only going to go here with this and stuff like that. I don't see it that way.
Not a glass ceiling. It is a brick wall.
You know?
So, yeah.
And what we say, man, if it don't work, hell, I can go somewhere else. Yeah, but at least try. You know, that's the big thing with that. Again, I'm Deonte Burden, a.k.a. Mr. Short Dollar himself. Tonight we're talking about business isn't always perfect. Right now, streaming live on Mr. Short Dollar. Streaming live on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, and LinkedIn. The main channel, the main hub is the YouTube channel. Well, we have close to 400 videos on the YouTube channel. So make sure you go to Mr. Short Dollar on YouTube and subscribe to the channel. Regardless of what platform you're looking at right now, make sure you like the video, what you're looking at right now, and make sure you follow us on the platform that you're watching us on as well. So with that said, guys, I'm going to give you guys a couple tips to not get so inundated with, you know, worrying about if you're doing the right thing, if it's right or wrong or whatever. And the first thing is how to avoid getting caught in those kind of ruts where you're trying to be perfect with everything. The number one thing is remember the good feeling you have when you delegate. Okay? Even if it's a worry feeling. Remember the good part about it. Look, I gave it a lab. Shit. Lab gonna take care of it, man. He messed it up. We'll talk about it tomorrow. But just knowing you got that relief off of you, right? You got some kind. I know you're cringing when you do it, but just being aware of the the actual, somewhat relief that you have when you did delegate or got something off for you. The second thing is think about the important things that you can focus on now because you're kind of backing out or being able to, not worry so much about being perfect. That being your family life, your health, your peace of mind, things like that, which mean a lot. Because I don't think a lot of times people realize that when you stress and you tripping about certain things, they handle you with a lot.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And we really do take health for granted. We really do take family for granted. And you really, when you start doing things like that, kind of shoveling stuff off. And I'm not acting like this is gonna be an easy thing to do, but you got to try at some point. You have a different appreciation for those things that hey, you have been missing out on. Like I said, the things that are free to us in life, we probably not intentionally. We do take advantage, take it for granted rather.
That's true.
Because we figure it's always gonna be there.
We always say free is never appreciated.
There you go. And lastly is, I want you guys to seriously think over whether your everyday habits are really worth stressing over. Those things you're doing every day to make sure it's perfect, is it really worth stressing over? And look at everything individually. That particular thing that you're going over every day, got to make sure this done, got to make sure this, that, and done. If it's a little bit late, will it be the end of the world? If it's not, if a little hit here and there, is anybody going to get fired or laid off or whatever?
Right.
Just understand. Guys, y'all know my saying, I was telling you guys, we don't need a major and a minor.
That's right. That's right.
We don't need a major and a minor. We don't need to sit here and have a stroke about stuff we can't control. So just make sure at the end of the day, guys, I want you guys to be successful in business. I want you guys to be successful and happy in life. But you got to be realistic what you can and can't do. That's what we talked about tonight about self-awareness, knowing what kind of person you are, knowing, your habits, the good or bad or whatever. But also being realistic about what you're trying to do, how you can realistically lay it out by your time, your time capacity, your mental capacity, your experience capacity. Everybody can't do everything. Like I said earlier, that's some things Lab can do and handle. I can't, and vice versa. The task is on me is find people to help mitigate my shortcomings to help me be successful.
That's right.
I don't have time to be trying to do the things the Lab do. Lab a wizard on the board. Y'all want to see that whole board blow up? Put me behind.
So they put you behind.
It ain't gonna happen. Nah, hey man. Hey, I told you, boy. But that's what a lot of people don't do because they don't respect and appreciate what other people do well and think they can do it every time. Nah. You can do this, you can do that. I think anybody can do anything.
Right.
But it ain't gonna be the same. It ain't gonna be the same. And I think the sooner that you can be realistic about what you can and can't do well and focus more on finding people that can help you by doing those things well for you, you'll be more successful in business. I think you'll be a whole lot happier. I hope you guys enjoyed the show tonight. Again, I'm Deonte Burden. Spend $1 out tonight. We talked about business isn't always perfect. So right now I want to open the floor up. Anybody got any questions that are business related?
We're going to go with Mr. JaVale's question first. Mr. Ben's question first. His question when he initially came on was that he's struggling with the new age internet business aspect. He wants to learn but don't have the money as collateral to learn how to get it there. Do you have any direction, or are you looking for a protege to pass the torch? He's listening.
Protege.
Yeah.
For with an internet-based business.
Yeah, like I guess being a YouTube creator like you are. Do you have any? Like he says he uses Fiverr, but gets a lot of crickets from that. He's applied for numerous grants. He uses Fiverr, but he hears crickets from it, so it's frustrating for him.
Well, and I understand the frustration, but you got to be realistic. If you look at business and try to build something, as the same aspect, you're looking for a job, you're going to put in 50 applications, maybe get 10 calls, 3 interviews, 1 offer, maybe 2, you know. And if you look at it from that perspective, that's how it goes. We talk about, man, we went 3 years, we weren't making no money on the YouTube channel.
That's right.
And at the end of the day, we just didn't quit. And it's just kind of like that little skimming process.
Right.
But it goes back to, at the end of the day, we focus 150% with the channel on helping people. The byproduct is the money. And when you focused on the product and you're happy with doing it, excuse me, everything will come.
Yeah,
But
I'm
when
gonna
you-
throw something in there for him as a person who creates a lot of shows weekly, for internet-based, YouTube and stuff. There's really no set formula. There's really no set formula. You have people who do it live. You have people who do it pre-recorded and put it on. There's just, I mean,
You don't know.
people love mess, but a lot of times it's just a matter of just continuing on, because like on our channel, our Roku station and all this, Roku, YouTube, even on your channel, we have hundreds and hundreds of videos, and most of the videos are over an hour. But sometimes one video hits and the other one doesn't. It's just a matter of just keep pushing through. I mean, I know all you hear about is the YouTube successes. They making $1 million a year or $100,000 a month doing these things, but there's not a set formula to make those kind of things happen. It kind of just happens.
You look at a Kevin Samuels, the Jake Pauls and stuff, 7, 8 years in the game. And you do got some overnight successes. You got people that walk around the camera, hey, look at me. And they got 100,000 views.
Right.
I wish I could just tell people, wave a wand, do this. There are some best practices you can do, in regards to just trying to maybe consistent what you do, find a niche, things like that. But, substitute for work. That just,
that constant pushing is what.
There you go.
That constant pushing that rock up that hill in order to get it over and be successful with it is the hardest part. And I deal with it. We've been doing this for 4 years. You know what I'm saying? We've had a lot of shows start here and leave, and some come and some not. It's just a matter of keep pushing on. And like I tell you all the time, I quit every day. I quit this every day.
Yeah.
I quit it every day. I'm done with this today. But tomorrow I get up and do another show, or tomorrow I do another interview, or I put somebody's music on our radio station, or we do an interview on our Roku station. So it's just a matter of trying to figure it out, because I'm changing stuff every day. I try stuff every day. People don't know it, but I try different things every day just to see what will hit.
Yeah.
So it's not a formula. It's not a wrote down recipe for success, and especially in the internet based business. It's just not. Ivy Green says that they're struggling with finding vendors in the beauty industry that will do business with someone that doesn't have a brick and mortar. What other recommendations would you give?
If you got beauty with find a niche. Find a niche. We got a wig company, me and PJ launching next month. You find a niche. What I say with that, Ivy Green, the best thing I would say is work backwards from the goal. And this is the best information, best advice I can give you. And what I say is, I wouldn't be so stuck on trying to sell to everybody. You know who you trying to sell to, how your customer look. If they 18 to 25, 25, 35, 35, 45, wherever they catch you in, whatever color they are, whatever income level they are, and focus on trying to deliver information and advertising to where they look at, wherever social media platform, and figure that out. So, and you got to have that thing to kind of want them. If you're selling lip gloss, you're selling wigs, you're selling hair care products, selling combs or brushes, where are they going to be at to see the person that you want?
Yeah, I think they more meant like vendors, though, like someone that can supply them with the things that they need.
Okay, the thing, we're just dealing with vendors. What you gotta figure out a way that, from a cost perspective, because you may not be in a one-man operation as a vendor.
She says it's online, or him. I'm sorry. Says that they are an online store that delivers locally and shouldn't be subject to brick and mortar. If my choice is online, is that it's irritating and frustrating. So I guess they have an online business that supplies. Say like when you have T-shirts, you may have a T-shirt business that once the person orders a shirt, the company that you use, prints the shirts and sends them out. So it's an online-based hair supply company, I guess.
Word backwards to who want to be online. Who some people don't want to go to the store and get supplies. Some people want to be online. Who would that be? Would that be stylists on the go? Would that be stylists that doing, you got to figure out who would want to buy from me. Instead of me just trying to sell to you, who want to buy from me? Who need this? Is it, like I said, somebody on the go, somebody's traveling, somebody that needs the stuff immediately, who wants to get that particular product? If I'm hearing it right, who wants to get that particular product? And once you figure out the stylist, the person that wants to buy that product, work backwards from that. To where they at, where they look, how do they look like, and then how can I get the information in a particular setting that they are? Because some folks are cool with going through the stores and playing with everything. Some folks ain't got time for that. You know, that's why you have an Instacart. That's why you have a DoorDash and all that kind of stuff. You need to find the DoorDash people, the people that actually want to buy from you. And once you figure that out, okay, who are those people?
Right.
Traveling styles, whatever. You know, I mean, from that point, work back. I hope that makes sense.
Yeah, yeah, that as far as customer acquisition, that does make sense. But she needs to get vendor. She needs to get somebody, like, say you own your hair salon, and you need to go buy hair from a supplier. I think that's what she's more mean. She needs a supplier. She needs to figure out a way to get a supplier who wants to do business with an online store.
The issue gonna come up with that. You're gonna have to just do a little homework with the vendors. I actually did this for some clients a couple years ago with salons and stuff, and to be in the form of salon on. I think you're gonna have to find some people that may have brick and mortar, whatever, and y'all had to partner together with your orders. One of the biggest drawbacks, especially with black businesses, anything outside of Asian and the actual beauty supply business, because it's not that many of them, they can't order in bulk like a lot of them Asian stores is, so they can't get the prices. So the Asian store selling grease for $1.50. The black-owned beauty supply store might got sell it for $2 because they couldn't get 10,000 cups of grease. But what's happening is those other places are partnering together, and they're ordering 30,000 a piece because it's 5 of them. So I say that do your homework, maybe find some other people that maybe a brick and mortar that may be doing online sales, and you guys partner together to go to some of these vendors and you making a sweeter order, because
I think that sounds
because the money ain't gonna be. You gotta look at it like this: the vendor is not gonna be so quick to want to deal with the 2 or 3 pieces. And I'm not saying that's what they're doing,
right?
But I'm just saying that you got to make it right for them. So you got to actually go out there and find people. It's gonna be difficult to do that by yourself. That's why you see too many.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I mean, because I said that's why you don't see too many black-owned beauty supply, because a lot of times they're trying to order without trying to actually ordering at a cost that a lot of Asian stores get a lot cheaper because they're buying more at a time. But they're partnering together. And I don't care if you got to deal with, just say other people. I don't know where they're located at. If you're dealing with other suppliers in Atlanta, Georgia, Southeast region, y'all got to find some way where working makes sense. The way you buying in them numbers, where it can do that. You know.
I think she may need to, or he. I'm sorry, I don't know. I think they may need to. They may need to think about this, just to creating a co-op in that area.
Well, that's what I'm talking
Find
about.
a bunch of maybe online stores together. I mean, we always say there's enough money out there for everybody. Find enough online stores, maybe a few brick and mortars, maybe 5 brick and mortars and 3 online stores. Y'all partner together, order the stuff together, and then the way the brick and mortar can say, well, the customer come and say, I ain't got time to come here all day. Oh, well, go to such and such online. They'll deliver it to you. The same products we got here, they got there. Because a lot of times, I don't see a lot of brick and mortar beauty supply stores online. I may be wrong, but I mean, when you look up something for beauty, it always sends you to Amazon.
Well,
and they don't specialize in certain things.
Yeah, why you don't see it most times, because the math ain't gonna work. That's why I try to just bring that whole point up with the extra supplies. You know, if you ain't buying that grease at a certain point at a certain volume, going back to the store, it's gonna be difficult, because again, you still got them fixed costs, being your rent, employees, and things like that. You gotta be able to buy that grease at a certain price so you can get the same kind of margin. But if the Asian store is selling that grease for $1.50 and you selling it for $2.50, I mean, everybody ain't got pride.
That's why Walmart is able to tell you, as the person who has the product, what you can charge for it in their store. Yeah, because they have so many stores, they have so much volume that people actually come to their corporate office to get their stuff in the stores, and the person who make the products, I may be making widgets, and I say this widget is worth $30 a piece. Yeah. And Walmart gonna say, nah, in our store it's worth $18.50.
There you go.
And you gotta go with that, because the volume of the store, the volume of stores they have, and the potential to you may want $30, but at $18.50 you may make the same amount of money because of the volume of stores that they have.
Or more money because you got more opportunity.
Right,
You know,
right.
doing it. I hope I answered that question. Is another one? Any more questions?
No, he's. Oh, JaVale Bennett said we'll be to Ivy Green with getting your products to Sally's or Walmart be an option.
That's difficult.
Yeah, that's very difficult.
That's
Walmart is
difficult.
very difficult.
That's difficult. I mean, you know, it's nothing wrong with having the online base, but I think the problem come up is what they were saying as far as getting the vendors, you know, and be able to supply your product. I mean, that's just what, especially if, you know, we're doing it, especially looking for suppliers and they trying to do that. You got to be able to get something at a realistic cost. Now, a person that's on the go, that's busy, they'll pay a little bit more because they want what? They want
convenience.
Convenience. So you just got to find a way to navigate with that. Take a little homework with doing it, but that'll be.
I think that co-op thing probably would be a good thing, man.
Theoretically, but the flip side of it is you ain't got a lot of folks that gonna have the same kind of vision to order together.
Exactly.
Man, I'm telling you, I done looked into that before. That's why I'm not gonna say the whole truth about it, but you see why a lot of the black-owned beauty supply stores don't last too long. They have a very, very, very good experience with knowing the products, but business and partnering together, they don't do too well.
Okay.
So I'm just saying this is out of personal experience. We're trying to initiate what you saying like a co-op and stuff like that. Now they can't see it, but it doesn't. You can't compete with somebody selling something $1 less, 5 miles away from you.
Right.
You just can't.
Right.
Anybody on Facebook?
No.
Anybody had a question with that? Okay, cool.
It must be YouTube asking questions today.
Okay, cool.
But yeah, Joe, I think Mr. Bennett is asking Miss Green questions, so they kind of answered each other on that. Yeah, I think a co-op would be good. Try to figure it out. See how many beauty supply businesses you have in the area, and how, you know, it's a lot of research with that. How far apart are they? How many miles are they? It's man, but it can be done. Korean hair supplies do it all the time.
Laugh about it. That's a project I took on before.
Oh, okay.
That's why I say just the psychological aspect of it. Like you just take out if we in Georgia, we got to meet in Columbus. If it's 5 of us, this weekend in Columbus, next weekend in Valdosta, next weekend Macon, but we ordering so much in bulk to do it. I mean, you got to find 4 or 5 people that's on the same page from a vision standpoint to get that, and that's what's extremely difficult. The theory of what you can do is one thing. Getting people that's actually wise and open-minded enough to do that, that's all. That damn near like magic, man. That's shit. That's it. Boy, you know we funny. We funny. We gotta have an our way or another way. Right. You know. Right. So everything good? Got any more questions? Are we good?
Mr. Bennett said, would it be easier to buy a house or B&B or a multiplex?
It just varies.
Yeah.
That's a.
I guess it depends on the purpose, right?
Yeah, the purpose, the place, that's not a and you know it all location, market. You know, I mean, there's so many questions with that. You know, just with that. I mean, you know, even just even things you can't control. I mean, zoning and whatever like that. Cause like I mean, in my neighborhood you can't have Airbnbs. It's a covenant neighborhood, right? So you can't do it. So it just depends. You know, you don't know from a zoning standpoint what you're able to do. From a market standpoint, you know, you can have it. I will say this: anytime that you're looking to get anything real estate, wise or anything like that in that industry, make sure you probably get you some kind of savvy agent or something like that. Not necessarily to buy and sell for you, but actually give you some game, what you can and do in certain markets, what things is good. The couple $100 that you may pay that person for as a consultant be way better than the $1,000 you may lose in purchasing something that you can't even use for a particular idea you had originally. So I would say that, because what you think is going to be a good idea in a certain place may not even be feasible. So try to find somebody that can actually give you the right guidance. You know, getting an agent, hiring an architect or something like that that actually know the actual market laws and stuff like the zoning restrictions and things like that, or be versed with those particular things. And get somebody seasoned. Get somebody seasoned. Don't get your little cousin just got their license. Get somebody seasoned. They can get a proper game on what to do. That's it. Man, that was an awesome show. Well, listen, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed tonight's show. We talked about, being in business isn't perfect. Had a blast. I came here dragging. You guys got me energized. Love all you guys. Appreciate our love and support. Got some more great videos coming down the pipe. Make sure you share Mr. Short Dog with everybody next week. We'll be back with Change Your Lives. I forgot the subject of the show next week. But I hope you enjoyed everything, guys, okay? But listen, take care of yourself, guys. Love you all and be safe.